Hey family, and welcome to Dat Family 5. On today's video, we are sharing our family lineage. Enjoy, and I'll speak to y'all towards the end. Y'all be blessed.
The first seed of John the Baptist and Mary Catherine King is Amanda. She died at birth. I am Reginald A. Williams, the third seed of Eliza King Williams, who is the second seed of John Abbott King, who is the second seed of John the Baptist and Mary King. John Abbott King was born 1893 and died in 1973. John Abbott King served in the armed forces in World War I in 1918 to 1919, a total of 15 months. When he got out of service, he bought land, which was 10 acres, and built a home and married Mammy Wilson King. And to say something about the grounds that he built on, the house had a total of 900 square feet with a porch at 6 by 30. And 2077, they added an addition on the back of the house and put in a bathroom and a utility room. My grandfather and grandmother believe in gardening. From the front part of the house to the highway, it was flowers on both sides of the walkway with hedges at the end of the road, with a garden on both sides of the flower. To the left of the garden, if you're standing in front of the house, was a shed. As you walk down the left side of the house, which you would see we had apple trees, pear trees, and one of the pear trees is still there today, and the fruit is not that bad. In the back of the house, it was more gardening. It also was a pig pen, and we raised strawberries, just with all the vegetables that you could, and we caned them. Also raised chickens and had a chicken coop. Also, we had 3 different locations for the pig pen. The outbuilding, or the bathroom at that time, was behind the chicken coop. And for recreation, later on, we would play horseshoes and basketball. A total that stayed in the house at one time was 13. We also had room for teachers to stay that used to teach at latest middle school. We played basketball in the evenings, and our grandmother would make ice cream and sell apple turnovers and muffins.
Hey, family. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're having a great time so far. For those that don't know me, my name is Lamar Gresham. You might see my name pop up as K. Lamar. Kevin is my first name, but I do go by Lamar. I am the second seed of Deacon Ernest Leon Gresham Sr. He is the 6th seed of Mamie Lee King Gresham, and she is also the 6th seed of her parents, William Thomas King, more affectionately known as Jake or Jacob King. And he, my great-grandfather, is the 3rd seed of the 2 people we are here to celebrate this weekend, John B. and Mary C. King. Now my great-grandfather, Pop Jake, was born on March the 16th, 1894. He lived 71 years, making his transition on June the 18th, 1965. But this is the house where he and his wife of Gloucester County, Celia Columbia Jackson, raised 8 of their surviving 9 children. Uncle James, Aunt Mary, Uncle John, Aunt Lucille, Aunt B, my Nana, Mamie Lee, Uncle Philip, and Aunt Ellen. It is my understanding that their youngest child, Amanda, did not survive childbirth, but we do not want to leave her out of the rest of the family. in this house, which is located on a very vast piece of land, at least 20 acres right now, that is owned by my Uncle Randolph and his wife Nina. This property is in the vicinity of Locust Hill, Virginia, that was known as King's Neck, of course named after our family, the King family. And down here in King's Neck, I know there was at least one school, if not two, as well as the early foundings of the Calvary Baptist Church. They came out of Antioch Baptist Church up in Saluda, and the folks of the Locust Hill area decided they wanted to be a little bit closer to where they lived, and so Calvary Baptist Church had its early beginnings here in King's Neck, Virginia, on the King property. My great-grandfather, Pop Jake, was also a World War I veteran, where he achieved the rank of private in the United States Army. When he returned from the military, from his military service, he was indeed a farmer by trade. And like I said, there's at least 20 acres here now. I'm pretty sure before it came down to 20, there was several other acres of land back here that he probably farmed. No idea what he raised, but if I know anything about my family, he probably raised everything on the land that he could possibly raise. And that's probably why he had all them children to help him take care of the fields. Yeah, whole other conversation for another day. But again, that's just a little bit of history of my great-grandfather, William Thomas King, also affectionately known as Jacob or Jake King. Of course, I call him Pop Jake. And again, I want to thank you for sharing this time with me and learning about John B. and Mary C's third seed, William Thomas Jacob King.
3 of us black people lived in the Franklin Street School, which was the elementary school, and I was one. And I graduated from there. Then, after I graduated, Aunt Edna wanted to come back to her brother in Philadelphia because the coal mines wasn't working too well. So we came to Philadelphia to live, the 3 of us, Uncle Arthur, Aunt Edna, and myself. And then she got pregnant. First time she got pregnant. And the baby was in the carriage. We was at Uncle Philip's house on Sears Street. And the baby cried. And Aunt Edna got up to reach over to the crib to say something to the baby. She fell. And she had a heart attack or something, but that's when she died.
Wow.
Hello, I am Danny Kidd. I am 6th seed of Jacob and Sally Kidd. Jacob was seed number 8 of Roland and Sarah Kidd, who Sarah being number 5 seed of John the Baptist and Mary Catherine Kidd. We're standing at the home place of Roland and Sarah Kidd, in which they bore 10 children. From this house, we had many of the men that went on to become part of World War II in the military. Majority of them went into the Army, as well as one aunt that followed her brothers into the military. We had several of the women to go on to Pennsylvania in order to work for phone companies, the Penn State University in housekeeping, as well as other ventures into New York where they worked for or house kept for several celebrities, as well as waited on restaurants with those celebrities as they exited the nightclubs in which they were being fed great food, and many of the cafes for which my aunts were waitresses. From this household, my grandmother, she was a housekeeper as well as a caregiver for several families throughout the Richmond vicinity that came through this area, for which she provided meals and cleaning. I am understanding that my grandfather was a veteran of World War I, where he had returned from World War I, in which he did suffer from PTSD, as it's known now, from post-traumatic stress disorder. From this household, there were many chances to get here on Sundays as well as homecomings to meet with all the other aunts and uncles as they would line up around in the living room area, sitting in chairs. Many of them would recite songs, and all of them wanted to give the young ones hugs. In her kitchen, my grandmother would definitely have great meals for which pastors like Carol Jackman and Reverend Dr. Green would come and have a meal aside from the homecoming services so that they could return to the pulpit at Calvary in order to deliver the afternoon message. From this household, I stand on grounds that I consider sacred because at any time I was here, any and all were welcome.
Greetings, family. My name is Danielle King. I am the third seed of Louis Arnold King, who was the fifth seed of Louis Alfonso King. I am speaking for Ellen King Frazier, who was the sixth seed of Mary, Catherine, and John Baptist King. Aunt Ellen was born March the 8th, 1900, and Ellen did not bear any children. And Ellen married Thomas Frazier, who's also from Saluda, Virginia, in 1922. They later moved to Philadelphia and lived in South Philly on 21st and Christian. Lived there with Uncle Tom until his passing. Aunt Ellen then moved with several family members. Aunt Ellen lived with us for about 3 years on 49th and Fairmount. After that, she moved with Joyce King Johnson in New Jersey. After that, Aunt Ellen had to be placed in an assisted living home where she passed away on May 17th, 1988. And Ellen loved spending time with her family. She loved playing cards and also singing plenty of old hymns. One of her favorite songs was The Lord and I. Thank you. Have a good night.
King Family Reunion. My name is Yolanda Jane Wilson Poole. I am the second seed of Lucille King Wilson, who is the fourth seed of William Thomas King, who is the third seed of John B. and Mary Catherine King. I am so pleased to be with you this evening. Today, I am talking about Uncle Philip King, who was the seventh seed of John B. and Mary C. King. Uncle Philip married Hilda Tibbs November the 15th, 1925 in Gloucester, Virginia. They moved to Philadelphia to 2232 Sears Street. He worked at a family garage at 316 South 11th Street in Philadelphia. At the age of 43, he married Virginia Bivens in Delaware and moved to 1545 Opal Street and then to 1221 North Fraser Street, a 3-bedroom and 1-bath house with 1,200 square feet of living space. It is located in Southwest Philadelphia and sold for $24,000 in 2004. Now it's worth $114,835. It is here where Uncle Philip helped Aunt Maggie raise Virginia Bivens. This King family also lived in a house next door to the second home of Sharon Baptist Church, which he started pastoring in 1946. He started at 17th and Christian Street, where he led the church to burn a mortgage 7 months. At Christian Street, and at Catherine Street paid off a mortgage in 6 years. Under Uncle Philip's leadership, 2,400 members joined, 1,500 baptized, 900 babies christened, 320 funerals preached, ordained 4 ministers and 15 deacons in 34 years. He preached his last sermon in 1983. He pastored Sharon for 34 years. In addition to preaching, Uncle Philip was a welder by trade. He worked at Sonship and died from asbestos and lung disease. He died on June the 24th, 1985 in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Uncle Philip is buried in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Thank you.
Hey King family, my name is Atoya. I am the first seed of Agnes Gresham King, who is the 7th seed of Mamie Lee Gresham King, who is the 6th seed of William Thomas, or as we called him, yes, William Thomas, or as we call him, Papa Jake, who is the 3rd seed of John the Baptist and Mary Catherine. I am introducing to y'all our great uncle Emmett. He died at birth. Thank y'all so much for being here and continue to watch all the way through. Thank you so much, y'all.
Today, this video I'm talking about Aunt Ethel King Lightfoot. She was born September the 9th, 1904. And in 1923, she married Levon Lightfoot, January 4th, 1923, in Middlesex County, Virginia. Mr. and Mrs. moved to the state of Pennsylvania, where most of their years were spent at 2516 Pine Street. It's a house in Society Hill. 3 bedrooms, 1 bath at that time. It was built in 1856 and at that time sold for $621. In 2002, it sold for $17,900. The square foot of living space is 1,236 feet. It sits on 0.2 acres of land. The children raised in this home were Elizabeth, John, and Geneva, and their brother, and Aunt Ethel's brother Emmanuel even lived there sometime. The last Lightfoot seed that lived there was Leslie Lightfoot Payton. The house is now a condo, a 2.5 bath, 3 bedroom condo sold to Mr. and Mrs. Van Bacon in their 40s for $925,000. Aunt Ethel was a domestic during her working years, and she earned a minimum wage of, this was in the 1940s, 25 to 30 cents an hour. Aunt Ethel was a friend that everybody wanted as a friend, a kind, gentle soul, friendly, and very nice to everybody. She was a faithful missionary worker and went about her duties as in the missionary service and served well. Aunt Ethel never complained, even though her last years were spent with a serious illness where she suffered with pain and agony. Aunt Ethel went home to be with the Lord in 1985. Aunt Ethel is buried in Calvary Cemetery. Thank you. Go.
Hi everyone,
I'm a seed of the 10th seed of John and Mary Catherine. My mother had 3 children. The first seed was Edna, the second seed was me, and the third seed was my baby brother.
I just got to put that in there.
And who are you?
And also we, both of us was raised basically at 1921 Christian Street. Then we moved a couple of times, but we ended up at 541 South Conestoga Street. Then my brother went into service. He came back as one, but then he came back with 2, his new wife. So now we're here. Thank you. We're glad to be part of the Kingz family. We're from a family that was always with my aunts and uncles. All of them was very close, and I hope we always be. Howard, you have anything to say?
Yes. My name is Howard Evans, and I was my mom's baby and favorite. She used to always be on my side when my sister did anything to me. She was right there to smack her. And I remember going to the store. She said she gave the money to Francis, said, go get some candy. Francis got her candy, and when time for me to get it, she said, he wants this, he wants that. I ain't want none of that. So the memories that we have is, but we got along. And we did, because I remember one time we were talking about our mom getting at us with the strap. We would run in the bedroom, throw the covers on, and she beat them covers up. We start hollering, and she heard us. That's the last time we saw covers.
I was so concerned about my baby brother when he played in high school, West Philadelphia High. Somebody knocked him out.
Knocked me down, not out.
Well, I thought he was out because when I looked, he was down on the ground. I ran down there. I was going to pop that guy. And everybody had to pull me back. You can't go in that field. Yes, I can. That's my baby brother. So I almost got in a lot of trouble because of that.
Well, we were close.
In West Philadelphia.
And we kind of separated for a while, but now we're back together as close again. Okay, I get phone calls from her maybe once or twice a week, and I'll call her a couple times a week so we can keep in touch.
I say, boy, what you doing?
Hello, family. My name is Shannon A.K. Jones. I am the second seed of Rosemary King, who is the 10th seed of Daniel Webster King. Daniel Webster King, or my grandfather, is the 11th seed of John Baptist and Mary Catherine King. This is the home site of Daniel Webster King. The house sits on approximately 15 to 20 acres and was purchased in the early 1920s. Here, Daniel Webster and his wife, Helen Jane Beverly, better known as Grandma Dolly, brought 10 children into the world. Mary Elizabeth, Daniel Webster Jr., Thomas Jefferson, Emmanuel, Estelle Virginia, Helen Audrey, Doris Delilah, William Jerome, Abraham Nathaniel, and Rosemary. Daniel Webster was a waterman by trade, but he also farmed the land at the home site. He lived here until his death in 1978 and is buried at Calvary Baptist Church Cemetery in Saluda, Virginia, beside his wife Helen, who passed away in 1940. His branch of the John Baptist and Mary Catherine King legacy has over 70 descendants, including 10 children, 23 grandchildren, and 40 plus great and great-grandchildren.
Hello, family and descendants of John Baptist King and Mary Catherine Jackson King. My name is Priscilla King Mills, and I am the first seed of Louis Arnold King, who is the 5th seed of Louis Alfonso King, and is the 12th seed on this family tree. Louis Alfonso was born May 25, 1990 in Middlesex County, Virginia, and he transitioned January 16, 1977 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He met and married Ella Mae Dandridge in or around 1935 and moved to Philadelphia in 1935. Together, they started a family and had children by the names. It was 6 children. Ellen Levita, we called Baby King. Robert, we called Bobby. Joyce Selena. William Roger, also known as Dickie. Louis Arnold, we called him Ani, that was my dad. And Barbara Ann. There was a total of 16 grandchildren, 22 great-grandchildren, and many great and great-great-grandchildren. He was a master carpenter by trade and was one of the first Black men to be accepted in the famous and segregated carpenters union, Kelly Construction. Kelly's name is all over Philadelphia. It's a drive named after him. His sister was Grace Kelly. Very important people in Philadelphia. So that was a milestone. He also helped to build Delaware Memorial Bridge located in Newcastle County, Delaware, and it is still standing to this day, and it's a beautiful bridge. He and his family lived in 4 different locations, but his final residence was on 6437 North 15th Street in Philadelphia. The home was sold in the 1990s to another family, so it's no longer in the family. He was also blessed to be funeralized by his brother at Sharon Baptist Church in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. His brother Philip was the 7th seed. You'll see that on the tree as well. I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to speak on the family, Louis Alfonso King, my grandfather, and I hope that you enjoy the photos. Thank you.
Hi, King family. I just want to say something about Uncle Manuel. He's the 13th seed of John Baptist and Mary Catherine. He has 2 daughters, Chanel of Philadelphia and Anne from Sickerville, New Jersey. He also had grandchildren and great-grandchildren. That's his legacy. But let me tell you a little bit about his personality. He was tall, he was good-looking, he had charm. And he also was very kind, and he was a jolly type person. Every year, he would take us, my mom and my brother and me, to Virginia to stay with Aunt Sarah. But when we got to Virginia, we didn't go to Aunt Sarah's house. We went to his 3 brothers' house first and stayed an hour in each. My brother and I was told we was going to get something to eat, but ask for a small amount because we had to eat at every one of their brothers' houses. So we went to Uncle Jake's house. We ate a little bit. We went on to Uncle John's house. We ate a little bit. And we went to Uncle Dan. 3 hours later, we finally reached Aunt Sarah. So with Uncle Manuel, my mom taught us, families should always be that close. Love each other, stick together, and do things together. And when we was at Aunt Sarah, they always came to visit Mom, their sister. So these are the things I remember as a young person. Our family, the Kingz. Thank you for listening.
Okay, family, descended King of Kings, we are at the end of this video. There is so much more. There is so much more. Dickie has like 15 minutes worth of information. I couldn't put it all in here. I was like, yeah, I can't break it up and put it all got to be together. So that's why I was telling y'all earlier, we gonna have some more videos. This is some behind the scenes stuff. We've been planning this since April of earlier this year. We did a lot of Zooms because everybody is all over the place. So thank you to my family, and we are going to eat. Let's bless this food and get the grubbing. All right, y'all be blessed. As always, for we are the family that love life and having fun and giving you all the motivation and the inspiration that you need to live your life abundantly with God's love. We'll see y'all on the Tuesday. Peace out, y'all. Mwah. Be blessed. Love you, fam.